Oh, what now? I don't know. Oh, mother trucker. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Two Nerds, One Quest. That has got to be the best point introduction. I didn't realize you had started already, Norm. Good gracious. Awesome.
How I do?
I am your host and DM, JC, here with these three nerds because math is hard. That first voice you heard, the man that could set me up for failure this morning, set me up for excitement. That's Tom M. Norman playing Aaron on this morning. How are you doing, buddy?
Fantastic. Not only am I sneaky in game, I'm sneaky in real life.
Oh. And a man who's not so sneaky in real life, but very, very charming, has a charisma score of about 18 or 19. I would throw it at is one Ryan Crixus Kukta. How you doing today, buddy?
Yeah, my stealth rolls are always at disadvantage IRL.
Oh, and then last but not least, that chuckle you hear, the lore master, the lazy dragon, the legendary Jeff Doc Williams.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday.
Welcome to Sunday. Sure. Let's kick this show up. Jeff, you want to give us a review of what happened last week and where approximately you guys are standing?
Yeah, last week the recap I think is a little shorter because there was some combat and some negotiations which took some time. So we finished coming down the elevator in the gem mine outside of Tourmaline. As Aranon is wont to do, he decided to go left. So after he found some kobolds on a table, the rest of us very unstealthily followed. We took care of those kobolds. Aranon continued on the next trek, and Ellie found another Chewinga to play dinner with.
Chewinga.
We again made some poor stealth rolls, and Aranon's just probably fed up with our stealthiness. And he found a kobold that spoke clear common and seemed to be more intelligent than your average kobold. After some tense negotiations, it was decided to just let the kobolds go. So they're meeting us near the entrance. And then Aranon decided to tie himself off before going across the bucket, across the chasm. And he found in one cavern a bunch of riches and gems and all kinds of happiness. And in the other one, the skull of an unholy creature. And that is where we left off.
The skull of an unholy creature. That is a fantastic way to put that.
Sounds very accurate.
Oh, that is not how I wanted to open that, though. And now I have this junk. Okay. I will deal. All right. So, Aranon, you are looking at this skull of an unholy creature. There is the gem. And is it in its forehead? I believe it was.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds right.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to, because I'm facing the gemmed face thingy, I'm going to turn around and yell back to just the group in general, hey, you're going to want to grab some pickaxes. Throw me one.
So you had gone across and you yell this back over the chasm. It's Make perception checks, Doc and Crixus.
8.
Six.
6. Yeah, you don't. It's loud. There's a lot of water pouring down. Ellie's kind of looking back up the tunnel that you guys came from. You don't hear anything. Aranon, you assume they heard you.
Sadness for me. I want a pickaxe, man. I want to knock that shit out.
There
Refresh
might
my...
be one over there.
I don't remember seeing one last week. Is
Well, you
there-
were blinded by the gems.
You think, based on what you saw looking down the other, because you looked down the other one
Mhm.
and saw the geode,
Mhm.
like basically all the gemstones in that other cavern. You think you recall seeing a pickaxe in that cavern.
Okay. I am. So I'm trying to remember how I got across. I walked.
You got across on the bucket. The rope bucket across.
That's right.
And once you're on that side, you've got about 10 feet of rope before you're going to hit the end of what we're holding.
Mm-hmm. I am going to untie my rope and tie it to the rope bucket so they can pull it back.
Okay.
And I'm going to triple check the knot.
Okay. So you come back, and in plain view of you guys, you see Aranon start untying himself. And you wonder at first what he's doing. He's 20 feet across this chasm. Then you notice he's tying it to this bucket. Doc and Crixus, as you're sitting there kind of watching him, and Norm, as you go to reach for the bucket moves a little bit. Just maybe 6 inches. And it startles all three of you because you're kind of watching what's going on. And you follow the rope back and realize that there's a pulley mechanism behind Doc and Crixus. And Ellie's back there pulling it a little bit to screw with you guys.
Oh,
I got Norm.
Bucket's alive.
It's
I'm
haunted.
gonna toss the rope over and just kind of throw it so that they can tie themselves up and give Ellie the finger.
So Ellie starts reeling in your rope, the rope that
Right.
was tied around her, and
I'm gonna go into the
Stop.
mine as well. I'm gonna go into the mine with all the gold, try to see if there's a pickaxe, and then start hacking away.
okay, you go over there. There is a pickaxe, and you do start hacking away. Crixus and Doc, do you guys go over there? There's no motion or anything from Aranon other than him tying the rope to the bucket or throwing it down. Like he's across. Apparently, he's going exploring or something.
Doc is probably a good
Do you want a
one to
boulder
go over.
Do you want a boulder parchment shears for it?
Oh, no, you got it.
That's rock.
Yeah. All right, sure.
All right. This would be weird on
Fun.
stream.
Yeah, especially with
Yeah,
Genius's
that's
leg.
all right.
With a leg spike.
This is the worst game of boulder parchment shears I've ever seen.
All right.
Now it just looks like Genius is trying to whack himself.
You got me.
I still think Doc should go.
All right.
I'm going to put Doc in the...
Well, you could. Oh,
bucket.
yeah, I lost, so you can put me in the bucket.
Yeah, you go across. You lost.
Nobody puts Doc in a bucket.
I was born in a bucket.
That sounds right, actually.
Oof.
I don't know what to say about that.
I'm thinking of the logistics of that, and that sounds gross.
The bucket was emptied twice. All right, so let's... Let's push Doc across.
So you get Doc in the
Wow.
bucket. You wheel Doc across. He gets across. No issues, Doc. You're able to climb out on the far side.
All right. Aaron went.
okay.
Aaron's in the gem cavern, or
Yeah, he went to the
Yep.
gem cavern.
Gem cavern.
Okay, I
So-
will go in that way then.
Okay, you go in that way, and inside on this side of it, it kind of opens up. There's one of those landings that kind of goes up, and in that face there, and the face above, there are all these geodes with these purple and red gems kind of all throughout it. There's another pickaxe and a shovel on the ground. You see Aaronon's picked up one of the pickaxes. Aaronon, are you going after these specific gems, or are you going back to the other cave?
No, I'm saving the one in the creature for last because based on our travels, I feel like if I take the gem out of the monster's head, it's going to come to life, and I'd rather get some gold first.
So you're gonna grab some you're gonna grab some crap here and then induce the Indiana Jones moment.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes. I've
Got
seen
it.
that movie before.
That's using the melon. So Doc, yeah, you get across. There's a shovel, there's a pickaxe there. You see Aaronon has a pickaxe and he's going to town on one of these.
All right.
geodes
Do I,
in the wall.
from my time in the mines, would I have any idea how valuable these particular gems are? If these are like, yes, get as many as you can because they're going to be worth it, or these are pretty but they're not the mother lode.
There isn't anything in here that you've seen that is kind of a mother lode. If you spend about an hour chipping away at these, you estimate you're probably going to get like 10 gold per hour
Yeah.
return on work, with like a max of like 3 hours maybe, and you'd have a place clean. Especially someone with your experience.
Okay. I don't want to burst Aaronon's bubble, so I'll let him I'll help him and get some stuff and just kind of more hint at the time and getting back for the party as kind of more of a, these are pretty, but I don't want to make him feel bad that this isn't super valuable.
So at this point, you guys are working through there. Crixus, Ellie said she'd take the bucket across. Actually, she said she'd wait on the other side just to make sure that you guys can all get back, and then asked you to just tie off the rope over there when she sent you across.
What I hear you saying is Ellie thinks she's gonna stay by herself on this side.
That's what she's intending, yeah. That's what she's trying to convince you she's going to do. She said, I'm going to stay over here. It's fine. I can... Crixus, it's fine. There's nothing... We met what was down here.
Okay, I will get in the bucket.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me. I know you don't want to leave me here by myself. I get it. And she says that as she starts pulling the rope to pull you across to the other side. You get to the other side without issue. Where do you go?
I'm gonna meet up with the boys and try to see what's going on. And I
Okay.
hear some like clanging, so
Yep.
maybe they're working.
Yep. And you come around the corner and you see Aaronon hard at work at chipping some stuff out, and Doc kind of union working. Kind of got his arm up on a pickaxe and said, "Hit it a little higher. It's going to actually release that whole thing." And Aaronon, are you following Doc's instructions?
Yes, because in theory he knows what he's talking about.
Okay. Based on the fact that you took Doc's instructions, are open to this, you are able to get, I will say, an hour and a half of work done within an hour. And you'll pull down 15 gold worth of gems out of this wall, basically.
Excellent. I'm gonna put it
I
in
would
my
al-
bag of holding. I'm gonna just kind of say I'm gonna put this in the bag for now.
I would also like to pull a few unpolished gems out of the
Mhm.
wall.
Are you going to work for an hour with them, or are you going to kind of sit? I was just going to ask, what are you doing for the hour? Because Aaronon's going to be here for an hour doing this.
Yeah, I'll work for an hour.
Okay, so you're able to pull about 10 gold worth of gems down as well.
So
Um,
how much? You said 15 for me.
15, yes.
Bless you.
That's you.
Ooh. Yeehaw.
I'll say right as we're getting near to the end of the hour, Doc will get kind of bored and curious and go check out the other chamber.
Okay, so Doc, when you come walking out, you look across the way. Ellie's actually sitting down, and this Chewinga has followed down the tunnel, and she has a spoon and a fork from like her mess kit. You've seen her get it out before, and she has handed it to it, and she's pushing like little rocks towards him in the ground, and he's got the spoon. He's kind of just trying to push them back to her. So they're playing this little game of like rock hockey. But she seems entertained, if nothing else. She's not aggravated or anything. Going over to this other cave, you walk into it, and just above eye level for you being a dwarf, on the wall is this skull that kind of juts out of the wall. Larger than normal eye sockets. There's a very curious like ridge between the eyes. It's kind of unexpected. Something that might have passed for a nose, and like 4 small like holes where there would be teeth. Make a intelligence check for me. People kind of know what this is. Viewers
Yeah, 19.
You do. You're aware of what this is. You've never actually seen a living one in your life, but in your travels, you have been to museums and situations where there have been preserved and dissected and like nailed to a board illithid and their anatomy, and you recognize this illithid skull in the wall.
Yeah, and probably from Dark Tales told to keep young dwarves in line, Doc is probably a little unsettled.
Probably very unsettled, because this would be the stuff that you were warned at. Like you said, as a child, the scary stories, don't dig too deep in the mines. Don't go too deep.
Yeah.
There are untold dangers lurking in the dark depths of the ground.
Yeah, I think trying to just maintain composure, he's probably not going to get closer, and he'll probably go back and see if the guys are ready to go.
Okay. Doc comes back in by you guys as you're finishing up your mining and putting stuff away. Clearly rattled. Doc, go ahead.
Yeah,
Come on,
we should get on out of here. I think we got to get back to town. We got to deal with the kobolds upstairs. Don't want to miss the party.
What's
All right.
down?
You can tell. He's doing a bad job of hiding his anxiety.
What's down the other route? Anything else we need to see down here?
I'm going to interrupt Doc before he says anything and say, yeah, there's a cool gem inside this monster face. We need to grab that before we go.
That dog was warning you.
Yeah. Think.
Doc is not excited about that, but
Face of a monster, huh?
Yeah, it seems really kind of creepy and scary, and I kind of like it, but I also really want to get that gem out of its face. Hey, side note, I'm kind of scared that it might come to life, so we should probably be prepared. Let's go get it.
Doc, the mention that make a wisdom saving throw when Aranon mentions the possibility of this thing coming to life.
16.
16. You are rattled, good and rattled for a moment before you realize, wait a minute. if it's coming back to life, it's going to be undead. It's not going to be an illithid. So that settles your mind a little bit. But your
Yeah, that should make
primary
you feel
goal
so
at this
much
point
better.
is
Undead versus real life
Yeah.
elephant.
the undead lacks the tentacle stuff to grab a hold of
Oh.
your head and
I suppose.
the toothy bits that bore into your skull.
Yeah,
So-
they can go first.
You go in and you enter. You get into this cavern. Like Doc, you're concerned about getting out now. Like you would probably, and I leave it up to you what you want to do. But the bucket's probably your first concern now at this point.
I'm torn between getting myself out and staying with them in case they can't get out.
Okay. So Aranon, you go around. Ellie sees the three of you come out and stands up from playing with his chewinga and like preps to bring you back across.
I'm gonna hold my hand up like 1 minute and point towards the cave, indicating that we're going in there.
So you go and head in there right away. You got pick in hand. Crixus, what are you doing?
I mean, I'm headed in there with him.
This
Okay,
is
so
some
the
real
two you had
adventure
in there-
shit, Crixus.
I mean, I haven't seen this monster yet with the crystal.
So as you enter, the two of you, Aranon and Crixus, enter this cavern. Aranon's got the pickaxe up and he's about to strike this skull in the wall. He's kind of interested in getting us, and you see this skull about 5 feet off the ground. It's got a crystal embedded in its forehead, these overly large eye sockets, and this strange ridge down the middle of the nose, and these 4 holes where teeth should be. Go ahead and make an intelligence check. See if you know what this is.
All the better to chew on your face with, my dear.
Yeah, exactly right.
I do.
You do. You clearly do. You know
20.
exactly what this is, and there's just a moment where you get a good case of the all overs, and you just shudder, understanding what this is.
Hold on 1 second.
Fair enough. Doc, are you getting in the bucket to go across?
I'm full weapons at the ready. Like, this is going to be the end game. This is the final boss, kind of just standing right in the doorway, prepared for the worst.
You drawing your weapons, Ellie across the way is suddenly on high alert. Pulls her mace, lifts her shield up. She's trying to yell to you across you from the water. Go ahead and make a perception check.
I knew that was coming. 19.
19, yes, you hear
Although I have
Ellie
my
yelling
back to
across
her,
you.
so
You still hear her voice is high and
Ring-
shrill
okay.
and cuts over the water in the cave. And honestly, Aranon and Crixus, go ahead and make a perception check as well. When you turn to look at Ellie, Doc, she's kind of like waving, like what's going on. Like she looks a bit manic in this moment.
18.
yeah, I'd probably barely give her a glance at that point.
24.
Oh, we could just send her a picture text message of the illithid before we do over.
Yeah, do,
No,
do,
his service
for
down
me.
here is terrible.
do we have
yeah,
pencil and
you're
paper?
you're far underground. It's not going to
You're
work.
right. I don't know what I was thinking.
All
we
the
have
metal
pencil and-
tools on the layers above you, it's just not going to work out well.
Do we have pencil and paper? We
Yeah,
can sketch a
look at
picture
that.
and paper airplane it across?
Do you have a pencil and paper?
I don't know. Probably not.
We do have an ink pen and some leather to write to draw a map on.
Ooh, we could frisbee the leather.
Why even
All right.
frisbee?
Anyway,
You have means to put it across.
Anyway, so what she
You
said.
guys have high enough intelligence scores that I think you would put it in
Alright.
the bucket and move it across the chasm.
Really?
Not try and throw it across the chasm.
Are you sure?
As your DM, I'm ruling yes, you're not that dumb to try and throw it across the chasm. Crixus and Aranon, you hear Ellie yell. You don't know what she yelled, but you hear her voice carrying over the top, and it seems panicked. Right as Aranon's about to chunk into the skull.
We're in the equivalent of initiative, Aranon. What do you do?
Basically,
Swing?
we've kind of been put into a natural initiative here.
Are you
Hurry,
swinging
fool.
or holding?
I am
Do it.
taking
Do
one
it.
giant swing as hard as I can.
Yes.
Okay. Crixus, do you do anything in this moment?
I am saying, hurry, fool.
Fly, you fools. Hopefully you're not saying that at the end of this. Okay. So Aranon, you swing. Give me an attack roll. Add your strength bonus to it. And are you proficient in miner's tools? If you are, you can add your proficiency bonus. Otherwise, just the strength bonus to it.
No, dice set poisoner's kit thieves tools.
Okay. So you take this pickaxe and you swing at this skull.
So I'm just rolling a 20.
Die roll plus your strength modifier.
Oh, whatever it is, it's minus 1.
Or minus, yeah.
14.
14. You actually hit the skull, and the interesting thing is the skull just shatters around this crystal in the wall. The crystal starts falling out of the. Whoa, criminy! What did I do here? Did that hiccup on me at all, or was I still?
No,
live
you're
the
fine.
entire time?
You're good.
Oh, cool.
I didn't
I
see
clicked
anything.
on an alert that took me off my screen. Sorry. New computer. Learning it.
New computer, who dis?
Crystal starts falling out of the wall. Make a dexterity saving throw to try and catch it before it hits the ground.
At advantage, because I'd say, quickly.
Yes.
All right, with advantage. 22.
22. Yes, you actually catch it. You strike it. You see all the stuff kind of crumbling around and slowly start tipping out of the wall. Catch it before it falls. You can feel it. Like when you grab it, there's more to this than just being a crystal.
I'm gonna jam it into my bag and quick run to the mouth opening.
I'm so glad you said bag and not forehead. Anyone that's seen the end of the original Diablo game.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, why would I slap it in my forehead? Oh, yeah.
It was in the forehead of something else.
Yeah.
True.
Well, that doesn't mean I'm going to... Hey, I wonder what this does. Bang, bang, bang. Let's try to crack it open.
I don't know. You were going to try and throw a message across the chasm that had a bucket. That
No,
you could've sent it
I was going
across.
to
I don't know.
frisbee it because playing frisbee is fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wrong.
Frisbee golf, for sure.
So yeah, I'm
Hey,
gonna
you got a basket.
jam it in the bag of holding.
Nothing bad happened.
Nothing
Doc
bad
has,
happened.
Doc has no problem being the first one in the bucket, and he's
Doc's in the bucket and like scrambling, pulling on the rope halfway across.
He Scooby Dooed his way across. His feet
Yeah,
didn't even touch the ground. He's
yeah.
just running in the air.
He
bucket's
kinda-
still on your side.
he just grabbed the rope and is pulling himself across.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like we can hear the cartoon scrambling sound. Like
Yeah. There's lines coming off his back as he's running. Just a puff of
The
smoke.
puff of smoke that looks like me.
And it blinks twice before disapparating.
Yeah.
Saturday morning cartoons, man. So Doc, you're in the bucket, and Ellie is clearly still panicked, not getting much of a reaction out of you guys, and sees you hop in the bucket relatively quickly. So she's pulling and reefing and getting you over. As you go to climb out of the bucket, both your excitement, her misunderstanding and excitement, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as you get out of the bucket quickly.
Oh, natural 20.
Natural
Plus-
20.
Plus 1.
Your foot slips. Actually, it doesn't slip. You put it on bad footing, and a large chunk of, like, probably about a 2-foot wide diameter by like 3-foot long chunk of the cavern falls away into the darkness below you. But you're able to, without, hand on Ellie's hand, grabbing forearms, you're able to pull yourself out without any issue. And you kind of turn and watch back as this large chunk of stone just keeps going. Crixus and Aranon, you see Doc nearly... You panic for a half second as you see it let loose, and then realize he's completely fine. He's on the other side. And Ellie's wheeling the bucket back, and I assume Doc is helping her at this point to you guys. Which one of you is getting in the bucket first?
I'm going to send Crixus first because he's got the shield and healing and stuff.
Sure.
That's bold of you. Crixus, Aranon's asking you to go in the bucket and leave him behind by himself. It's not quite as bad as Ellie.
I'm gonna half pick him up and put him in the bucket.
Make a strength check.
I put him in the bucket.
There's a bit of a debate. You can make a dexterity or strength saving throw if you're going to fight him once he starts picking you up.
I am making a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And
what was your roll, Ryan?
19.
19.
Oh, I rolled a 10.
10. See, you're struggling. You try and get away, but his grip is actually, like, it's one of those things where you get a kid and you grab them and they try and wheels themselves away, but they don't realize how strong the adult is that is holding the arm. It's like, no, you need to come here. And Crixus picks you up and puts you in the bucket.
What?
And once you're in the bucket,
Son of a
Doc and...
God, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Jesus.
No, you're going to bed now.
Dad, I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to get in the bucket.
Mean, I hate you.
So, as frustrated as you are, when you're put in the bucket, Doc and Ellie are pulling very quickly. Like, you are away from Crixus before you can even like you're cursing at him from the bucket, heading across the thing, and you resign yourself to the fact that okay, you're going over first. Crixus, make a perception check for me.
I perceive it. 23.
23. There's a slight rumble in the ground below you. Like under your feet.
Cool.
Aranon, you get
Awesome.
You get out of the bucket on the other side without issue. And they send the bucket back towards Crixus.
I mean, Crixus is gonna get in the bucket.
Okay, Crixus gets in the bucket. Start wheeling back.
Just so you know, I
get
pulled
up.
out my hand, both of my hand crossbows
Hand
because
crossbows.
with the way Ellie was acting and Doc was also needing a new pair of shorts or pants. I'm gonna be prepared just because I don't know what the hell Ellie's bitching about.
One by one, everyone is buying into the panic and chaos that initially started with Doc just understanding this was an elephant skull. The whole situation is just, the whole party is amping up slowly. Crixus, as you're coming across and you see Ellie's pulling very hard, she seems concerned. Doc is assisting with this. They get you across, they get you out. Aranon's got his crossbows out. Ellie picks up her sword and or her mason shield immediately and is on the ready. Doc's still panicked from all of this. What would you guys like to do? Everyone's at heightened alert.
I'm gonna look at Ellie and say, "Okay, what's going on?"
I don't know. You tell me. Doc looked like he was about to crap himself when he came out of that cave. What'd you guys do?
Oh, for the love
It's
of
over
God! I'm putting my crossbows down, and I'm reattaching them to my belt, and I'm beside myself.
What? There's nothing.
You were yelling at
Nothing-
us.
I didn't know what was going on. No one said anything to me. I see Doc come running out of the cave looking like he's seen a ghost.
So
I see
why
you
would
guys
you
go
get
back in? You wave at me, running back in, and
I
next
waved-
thing I know, he's hopping in the bucket and damn near falling, trying to get out of it.
But
Really? It's nothing. There was nothing over there.
I am walking away. I'm going down. I'm going back the way we came. I'm leaving. I'm just ignoring her now.
Aaron does one of these and walks away up the path.
Yeah, Doc. As soon as they're all across, Doc was pretty much oblivious to the conversation, just staring back at that opening with the axe in hand, just kind of like waiting to see if something's going to come out. Ghost in the darkness kind of thing.
Yep. Crixus?
I mean, I'm still in the bucket, right? So
Well, you climbed out. You climbed out
okay.
of the bucket. Yeah, and came into this conversation.
Crixus is
All
still
right.
in the bucket, like, guys, help me out.
They stopped pulling halfway across. He's in the middle, just in the bucket. Guys? No.
The illithid was a dead thing, and dead things come alive only when I say they do.
Oh, maybe we
Illithid.
should have had you bring it to life.
Are you serious, Illithid, Crixus? Ellie says.
The skeletal remains of an illithid.
You guys want to go? Aaronon's leaving. She's inching her way towards that cavern and making. You said Illithid. She isn't. She knows what that is. She's not down to DTF, down to fight.
I'm glad you.
Yeah. She starts heading up the cavern, following Aaronon. Crixus, Doc, you follow along, I assume. You move your way up the cavern again, around to M9, which is crap. I'm gonna back this up. In M9 was where you had
The break room.
Yeah, that was the break room with tables and chairs and stuff. The couple of kobold bodies that you annihilated. Standing over these bodies are 3 other kobolds. One with these makeshift wings attached to his back. He seems to be having an argument with the other 2. He's trying to calm them down, you think, maybe? He's yelling at them in common, and they're yelling in clearly not common. Do any of you speak kobold? Or dragon, I should say.
Draconic.
Draconic, yeah.
No.
That's what like a dragon kind of. What? Oh God, what's the dragon like? Draconic, yes. None of you speak Draconic.
Dragonish.
Dragon. Funny, he doesn't look dragonish, although he's got the makeshift wings. But he keeps yelling at him in common. He's like, "No. We made a deal. We can go. We can leave." And they're gesticulating and yelling at him and pointing at the dead bodies. And they turn to see you guys and draw weapons right away. And he steps in between. He's like, wait. And they're both back there with these little daggers and just like hostile towards you.
Oh, we killed their friends. Doc is still shaken up enough that he's definitely not in the, it's probably just a kobold druid, let's let him go. Is like, I'm suspicious of everyone and everything at this point.
Here's a question: how far ahead of
But I'm the last
everybody?
one in.
How far ahead of everybody was I? Would I have come across them first?
5 feet, 10 feet.
Oh, okay.
No one hung around much for conversation.
Okay.
Walked away. Everyone kind of took that as a cue. Let's get the flock out of here.
I'm gonna say to the guy with the wings, control your minions or I'm putting them down.
It looks like you already put a few of them down. That's what they're upset about. I'm trying to calm them,
Well,
but
they shouldn't have been trying to sabotage the mine.
very well.
And they shouldn't have attacked us.
I
Have nothing to say
1
about
minute.
that. Correct.
did Doc, did you said you drew weapons?
I'd never put mine away, probably.
You never put yours away. So you come up in the back, like with Crixus. Ellie comes up behind Aranon, kind of had stowed her stuff because she's ready to move. You come around the corner with your weapons out. And one of them takes his dagger. Does a 10 hit your AC?
No.
He hucks the dagger at you, missing you completely, and we can go into initiative here. Let's see. Give.
Oh, please let me
He's
go
got
first.
out of hand.
That got out of hand quickly. And they are at. Okay, what'd you have, Aaron?
10.
Okay.
Also 10.
Which one of you wants to go first?
Aranon for sure.
Well, I was going to assume that Doc would strike first since he had something thrown at him.
Honestly, I do like that because storyline, if something was thrown at you, Doc, you'd.
I mean, in order to throw it at me, it would have had to go past everyone else. So I'm.
Yeah. Other than Crixus, I imagine was in the back. Because you would have been a bit more spooked by this. Crixus, what was your initiative?
9.
That actually works out very well. So he throws the blade at Doc and misses. Ellie draws weapons instantly and moves forward to swing. She steps right up to the one that threw the knife and tries to clobber him with a 14. Oh, give me a second here. I need stat block. Oh, 14 just hits. Fantastic. So her, let me do this. Let me pull her sheet up. Actions. All right. Mace. Oh no, I did that roll already with a die. Oh, that's an even better roll. So, and same result. She hits. Her damage. Oof. 3 points of damage with her mace as she walks up into this. She's not overly concerned. Like, you guys annihilated the other two of these, so she's not doing much more than mace and stuff. Rumors of Illithids have her thinking, I may need to preserve spell slots, preserve my magic for bigger fish. Doc, dagger's thrown at you. Ellie walks up and clubs the one that threw it at you, hitting it for a couple of points of damage across the face.
This is where playing a Raging Barbarian in other campaigns prepares me for this blind. Like, he is not thinking correctly. He is just going to grab a javelin from over his shoulder and huck it at the one that threw the dagger at him.
Okay.
Yeet!
And it is 23 to hit.
Absolutely hits him.
Only 4 damage, though.
Only 4 damage. Okay.
It's only a kobold-sized javelin, but... I don't think he would throw a second one. I think he would just do the one attack and
gonna move closer then? Or are you just gonna stay there? Okay.
No, he's just gonna stay there.
Okay. Aranon. Combat has suddenly blown up around you. Like, this went from peaceful negotiations to aggressive negotiations very quickly.
I'm gonna pull my crossbows out again because they're on my hip, so I quick draw.
Yep.
Because it doesn't pay to run close to him yet. So I'm going to quick draw. I'm going to shoot with my right hand first. Durka. 25 to hit.
25 absolutely hits. For sure.
Roll, you bastard. Five damage.
5 damages. All right, second shot.
Actually, I'm sorry. I was shooting at the main guy, the boss.
Oh, the boss. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a different story. I gotta be taking these points off of the other guy.
My bad.
All
I'm
right.
shooting at the boss.
Yep, still hits. Still hits, still does 5 damages.
All right, left hand.
The stranger.
Yeah, you
25
gotta
to
name your
hit.
crossbows.
25 does hit.
Niner.
Niner.
Nope, 7. I lied.
7.
I can't count. Math is tough.
And I'm using a pen. Jeez. All right.
What the hell are you using a pen for?
Because I don't use pencil. I commit, man. Ooh.
So instead of movement, can I put my crossbows back on my hips and pull out my sword instead of movement?
It. Yeah, movement bonus action, sure. Let's say if you use your movement and bonus action,
Yeah,
Put
because I don't have
both
any
your-
other. There's nothing else I want to do at this point.
yeah, I'll say you can put your as your movement, you
Yeah,
put your crossbows back, and then as your bonus action, you pull your sword.
Yeah, hiding's not going to do much.
I'm gonna duck behind Crixus.
Crixus.
Crixus is not convinced that we need to kill another kobold.
Good luck convincing the
I'm
rest of
going
us.
to use thaumaturgy and
Okay.
say, hold your attacks before the next one dies. With an incredible sense of urgency and
And volume, I assume.
yeah, and then
Kind
I'm
of
going
reverberates
to,
off the walls of the cave.
and then I'm going to bang on my shield again to make as much noise as possible,
Mhm.
and use my movement to get right up to the kobold leader within melee range without striking.
Okay, make an intimidation check.
As Crixus moves past me, I'm going
Yeah.
to yell at him, choke on an entire bag of dicks. I'm tired of this bullshit.
Entire bag of dicks.
Okay. So make an intimidation check. Crixus.
Middle of the road.
Middle of the
Yeah.
road. Let's see.
I feel like with thaumaturgy, maybe I would suggest advantage, but that's just me. I'm picturing Gandalf yelling at Bilbo.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, advantage on the intimidation check with thaumaturgy, sure.
I do like
Not
the way
better.
that you are sharing your roles by saying middle of the road. I definitely perceive it.
I mean that's how my character would be. Like, look, I'm not overly convincing, but and then my advantage roll was a 1, so
A
not
1.
bad.
Okay.
That is, I would call that disadvantage roll.
So you step forward to intimidate. The two lesser ones, not the leader, both seem to react and cower a bit in the moment. The one having been hit a couple of times. The leader straight up looks at you and laughs and takes out the sword to swing at you. And misses completely. A 2 on the die. So yeah, you intimidate and kind of step out. The other two are cowering. They were intimidated. They're lost what they're doing. They're holding back. Flipping back to the top of the order, Ellie has responded hearing your call and has taken up. She is going to dodge for the round. She has put up her shield, and she is, by taking the dodge action, has instilled disadvantage on any attack towards her. this round. Doc.
Huck the second javelin at the leader because he took a swing at Crixus.
Okay.
I like the
It's
way
not going Crixus'
I
way.
like the way you think, Doc.
Miss though.
Miss.
I don't like your
It's
aim,
like an 8.
but I like your intentions.
I'm trying not to hit Crixus.
Crixus, you got your shield out and you're kind of banging it, making this sound. And as you're doing this, Doc hucks this javelin, and as you're banging that motion, your shield actually hits the javelin and kind of sends it off to the off course a little bit. It looked like it might have hit the boss guys. You get the idea that Doc isn't giving up the fight. You have the idea that Aeronon's not the fight based on what he said as you passed him. Ellie seems to be the only one responding on your side of this war.
Meow, meow.
It's a tabaxi.
And that's good for me.
All right. Then we move to Aeronon. Do you have a bag of dicks for Crixus to hand to him?
Oh,
Whole bag of it.
Here you go. And a spoon. Let's go.
after this is over, I'm tackling him and shoving. I'm finding something to shove in his mouth.
Whoa. Whoa. Let's not go there.
I can't
We're
wait.
made for mature audiences, but wow.
I didn't
Yeah,
say what I
we're
was
gonna
shoving in there. I'm gonna find something though.
Oh, I think you did on the last round.
Yeah.
Dildo bygones.
I think we broke Norm. What would you like to do, sir?
Now I just want to give him applause for that. I'm going to move past Crixus because he's clearly in everybody's way. Thanks a lot, Crixus. And swing the, I'm gonna swing the short sword at him. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
At the leader?
do. At the leader.
At Zenidar. Okay.
Short sword swing. Oh, 26.
26. You hit him. Quite well.
Quite well.
Quite well.
For 8.
How does he die? Aranon. You can see the pained expression on Crixus's face as he was trying to avoid death in this instance.
Well, so I hit him, and as I hit him, he falls over. What are his wings made of?
Like leather and wood and twine.
Okay, good. So he falls over, his wing folds up, and a piece of the wood frame goes in one side of his head and out the other.
Oh, nice. Nice, very nice. Okay. So,
Graphic.
is Aaron on? I need to get back to this for a second.
The curse of an active imagination.
Mhm. Yeah, right. You end up oh, where the hell is it? I'm trying to find this. Oh, here we go.
And he runs away.
No, he does not run away.
Oh, look at the camera. He ran away.
Oh, he ran away. He did run away.
Really, you are wrong, sir.
Clearly, I'm wrong. I'm looking down here. I'm just trying to find, because there's something very specific that happens here. When the leader dies, it falls, the spline of this wing goes through his skull, and he's laying there on the ground. As he's laying there on the Imperial spirit comes up out of the body and stands before you, humanoid in form, with large slash through the side of his neck. Make a perception check, Crixus. You're the next one to go here.
Well, that was unexpected.
7.
Yeah, this seems to be some sort of ghost. What would you like to do? It's your turn.
Sit. In
Disgust.
disappointment and horror at how this situation went.
So you sit down.
Is the ghost kobold sized, like the same size as the guy was?
No, it's very clearly a human. It's very clearly a human spirit of some kind. Crixus, you kind of slump to the ground like Admiral Akbar when they lose the ship in Return of the Jedi. Kind of slump forward like that, disappointed. In sitting down and like kind of taking a rest, going to one knee, you see this spirit has, although it's come out of this body, it seems to be attached to this satchel. The satchel with all the quote unquote natural spell components in it, the mushrooms and the lichen and all that stuff.
The loser's fanny pack.
Yeah. Yep.
Got it.
In that moment, the other two kobolds, seeing him fall, turn tail and run up the tunnel. They wanted to in the first place. They didn't want to fight you guys. They were leery of you guys. So yeah, they turn tail and run.
So, Kukta, if you're acting like Admiral Akbar, are you going to say, it's a ghost?
No, I'm going to say, what the f***, Garanon?
And yeah, you clearly can, because we are out of initiative unless someone's going to shoot at them as they take off.
No, I'm gonna let him go. Because I have my sword. I'm not throwing my sword at him.
Doc, do you do anything as they take off?
There's a freaking ghost in front of me. I'm a little distracted now.
Okay. So we're out of initiative.
I'm gonna put my sword away.
Those were Crixus's first words.
Excuse me. What do you mean? First of all, you're welcome. These guys were a pain and they were in our way. Second of all, what the hell's this? I point at the ghost.
I mean, Crixus will turn to the ghost and try to communicate. Just say, you're unexpected.
He looks around and flies directly towards you, Crixus. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. As he tries to enter your body.
As the ghost flies towards Crixus, I'm going to tackle him out of the way.
As a reaction, try and tackle him out of the way.
Yep.
Go ahead and make a unarmed attack. This is your die roll plus your strength modifier, or minus your strength modifier.
Yeah, minus. Nine. You hit
Crixus hard, and he kind of holds fast. He's on one knee. There, Crixus, what was your wisdom saving?
14, sir.
14. As this ghost enters, there's a moment of resistance that you pile up against it, but then he sits, basically, it's weird. I don't know if you've ever been possessed by a ghost before. But you've heard awful things. You've heard them take over bodies and such. This one seems to sit down at a table next to your consciousness inside your mind. And it's like having a cup of coffee with an old man. He just looks at you and said, "Would you kindly pick up my satchel?"
What is that character or in Star Trek? The symbiotic relationship.
I know what you're referring to. I can't think of
That's
it off
where
the
I'm
top of my
headed.
head.
All right, so I would
Never-
ask. I ask, what is special about the satchel?
It's the last of my existence. It's my life's work.
How do you exist? I mean, I assume this is happening up in.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah. This is all happening inside Crixus' head. Crixus, you guys saw this thing, like Aranon, you hit Crixus hard and you kind of fell off, and you observed this ghost entering Crixus, and all three of you are kind of just watching him, waiting for some
I would have
hostile action.
probably rolled right up to my feet and pulled out my daggers, like
Okay.
kind of
Yep.
be at the ready.
Yep. So you're all watching. You rolling up to your feet. You got your daggers out. Ellie's still got her mason shield out. Doc, you're all just kind of keeping an eye on Crixus to see what's going to happen. He hasn't moved. He's kind of sitting there on one knee, and his eyes flicker a little bit. His head kind of nods. He kind of seems to be mimicking, almost having a small conversation with himself.
I'm gonna mention to Doc as I were standing there. I'm just gonna whisper, "Should I force him to drink the pooping potion? Maybe he can poop out the ghost."
Doc kind of grunts like how that's funny, but still almost completely distracted. Like, huh?
He said he talks about his life work of cataloging the flora and the fauna of Icewind Dale. And he's not done with his work, Crixus. He's asking you to just pick up his satchel. It's the only thing keeping him here.
Crixus is going to detect magic on the satchel, assuming that it's magical.
There's nothing magical about the satchel, as you detect magic on the satchel. It is literally just a satchel full of and mushrooms and twigs and leaves.
All right, I mean, I'm going to pick up the satchel then. I just wanted to make sure it's not cursed or anything. You know.
And he said, "Would you kindly pick up the satchel?" And you pick up the satchel, realizing it's not cursed or anything.
So is this a real satchel? Like, are we watching him pick up something, or is this all in his head?
Picking up a goddamn fanny pack and I'm putting it on.
A fanny pack of plant life, for lack of a better term. Yeah, so you pick up this fanny pack and put it on. He says, "Thank you. You're more intelligent than he was," as he kind of motions towards the other kobold. He goes, "I just want to complete my work. It's the only thing keeping me here."
And Crixus will say back, "We have to get out of this mine, but I'd like to dig deeper on your life's work. Make sure it's in alignment with our work."
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing earth-shattering. It's library work, theoretically. I mean, going out into the world and observing and bringing back the knowledge that I find.
Okay.
You seem to be able to steer yourself pretty well, so I will trust you. You seem friendly enough. You've picked up my satchel for me. If you need me, I'm here.
It is I who needs to be able to trust you. Tread lightly.
Fair enough. You picked up my satchel. I'm here. Let me know if you need anything.
All right, I'm gonna like shake my head, kind of to like, all right, I'm done with that for now.
Yeah.
And if John as DM, if you could let me know if there's anything else interesting that my detect magic comes up with, I'd be more interested in that crystal that we picked up.
Yeah, that shines like mother trucking beacon.
So my bag of holding is glowing.
Oh, actually, yeah, it is in the bag of holding, so it isn't
Oh,
technically.
is it in the bag of holding?
Yeah,
All right,
it's
sorry.
you wouldn't see that. It's a good
Sorry.
call. Nope, thank you. That's a good correction. So yeah, continue on north or.
Actually, I'm
continue
gonna search the kobold with the wings just to see if there's anything on him.
The guy with the wings. Let's see. Is he?
And then I'm gonna have a conversation with Crixus.
There isn't anything like the one difference between him and the others was the satchel. In this moment where Crixus is having this conversation inside his head, you guys see him pick up the satchel and put it on. Not threateningly but he takes it off the other kobold and puts it on. On these kobolds, they each have a dagger and 2 javelins. So if you wanted to collect a couple more javelins, but it's all stuff that is mundane use.
I was gonna say, did the kobold that got struck by the javelin, did he run away with it flopping behind him as it as it stuck?
No, it did fall out.
Oh.
It's kind of a funny picture though.
When Crixus comes back to when he shakes it off,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to kind of move in front of him and kind of try to look him in the eyes and say, Crixus, are you still in there? And kind of determine if he is in fact Crixus or not.
I'm fine, Aranon. I have a dark passenger.
Great, another mouth to feed.
Seems compliant.
Is he
Don't
friendly?
think it's gonna eat anything, Aranon. Ellie says.
I look at her and I just roll my eyes like, no shit.
Friendly, intelligent, but a bit inept.
Why? Why is it in you? That sounds wrong, but why? Yeah, why is it in you?
Show title. Why is it in you?
This part of it I cannot explain, Aranon. It seems to be a talent he has learned over the ages and has required me to, or has asked of me to provide a service for him so he can move on.
What service?
Seems simple enough, however, I have not yet gotten to the core of what is needed.
Are you a pimp now?
Go on and brush your shoulders off.
Oh, come on. No one's going to look at Ellie and say, ladies as pimps too. Go on, brush your shoulders off.
No, I was trying to think of the words in my head and I couldn't place it.
All right.
I will also say to Aranon, though, Aranon, I'm still concentrating on my magical detection. Could you pull out the crystal?
Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna open up the bag and shove my hand in and pull it out. Pull out the rock, pull out the diamond, whatever it is.
The big purple.
Whip it out.
gemstone.
I'm gonna reach in my bag.
Whip
and
out
rip
your
it
big purple rock.
Yeah. Crixus, this thing glows bright, has a magical essence to it. Oh,
That
it
got me more
is-
than it should have, Genius.
What did you say?
I said that got me more than it should have.
No, but what did Jeff say? I missed what he said.
His big purple rock.
Oh,
Yeah, whip out your big purple rock.
yeah. It is. Yeah, it is absolutely a magical item. To learn anything greater about it, you would either have to be able to identify it, or it seems to have a magic that you could tap into if you spend some time concentrating on it.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Crixus? Because
Any of you? Well, actually, Crixus, because he's the one that's identifying it,
Yeah.
or has his magic. He's not identifying it, but he has a.
Yeah. This is,
Detecting.
it is odd. I cannot quite place what type of magic this is. We might have to have it identified by someone we would trust.
Interesting. Do you want me to keep it in the bag, or would you benefit from holding on to it?
Crixus probably wants it.
I'm checking one thing here. It would be. I'm checking what type of magic it would be, because you are able to determine that with that.
It probably isn't critical to the storyline now, but
It's divination. Yes, it would be divination magic.
All right, I'm gonna hand it over to Crixus then.
Crixus will accept it.
Okay. What would you like to do?
So with the room calming down and Doc's adrenaline coming back down, he probably throws up in a corner after all that,
Perfect.
and then pull out the flask and tries to replace some fluids, which is probably the best thing to do after going up, right?
Puking really.
Some nice warm cider, I think, was in there.
Yep.
And
Go
then
ahead.
pass it around if anyone wants a chug.
I'm gonna say you just puked. I'm not putting my lips on that.
And yeah, Ellie just kind of thanks, Doc.
Crixus could use a drink after all of that.
Crixus seems oblivious to Doc throwing up. Wipe the top, throw a swig back. You proceed then up the tunnel.
Yep, I'm gonna say, all right, let's get this shit show on the road and start walking.
Okay, you come to M7, which is where the bucket upward
You sank my battleship.
is. The bucket is up.
The other two kobolds anywhere? Oh,
Of
course it
make,
is.
make a perception check.
Nope.
Aranon,
True.
actually, it's not going to be overly hard to see. There is a ruck in the dirt. There is just a ruckus of clawed out lizard footprints. The odd thing here is that there is a second set of footprints off to that one cave, and none coming back now. This is where we had that one set of footprints that went off into the cave.
I was gonna say the cave, the way that we did
and-
not go down last time.
Correct, M8.
M8, I think.
hmm So there's now a second set of footprints there, and the bucket is up. You are able to bring the bucket back down, but it's going to take you a minute.
All right, I'm going to say if you guys want to head back up you can if you don't feel like being down here anymore, but I'm going to go and check out this other direction real quick. There's another set of footprints that have led this way. If we're going to clear out this dungeon, or this mine, we need to clear it out, make sure it's actually safe. We still have this task at hand.
Okay. Is anyone going with him, or are you all just focusing on going up with the bucket?
I'm going to tell Ellie
I'll go with.
to also go with, and I'll hold the bucket.
Okay, so you're gonna... Crixus is gonna stay back and move the bucket down. You guys walk up this, following this second set of tracks that is made this way, this fresher set of tracks that is made this way. And as you get up into this room, these tracks just straight up disappear. Like, yoink. They stop being there.
I'm going to look at Ellie and Doc.
What are your passive perception scores? Doc and
15.
Erna?
15.
15. What's at least passive perception? Let's see. Ellie's passive is...
And I only have 15 because of the feet. Otherwise, it would only be 10.
Ellie stops suddenly. She grabs both your arms. Guys. And she points up at the ceiling. And in the ceiling, on the ceiling, there is a large, like, flesh sack with a beak. And coming off of that are several, probably about 15 to 20 tentacles that are kind of reached down and wrapped around a small form tightly. As you're looking up at this, there's blood that seeps out from between these tentacles and drops to the ground. You hear the sickening sounds of whatever it has wrapped in its tentacles, best guess kobold, munching away at this. To give you an idea of what this thing looks like, let's see if I can make this a bit bigger. Let's go here. Yeah. I'll show you this. Kind of what this thing looks like.
Oh, he's so cute.
So
Not the word I would use.
as you look at him up there munching, he stops moving and just sits there. He doesn't have eyes, but you get the feeling he's aware of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you are all intelligent enough to piece together that this may be the true monster of the mines.
Yeah. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah. And
This-
so as you sit here looking at this thing up top, it has stopped moving, it has stopped munching, and you just hear it from the tentacles, just the drips of blood. Plunk. Plunk. It's strange because you hear that in your head, and it seems to be over the top of all the rushing water. The fear, where you don't actually hear it, but the sight of this blood dripping and hitting the floor, you hear that in your head, understanding what that would sound like if it were completely silent. Like the water has become an afterthought to you guys. And we'll stop there with you guys observing.
Full-on
thing
horror
eating.
movie special effect sound effects.
By the way,
there. Everything
John-
else kind of dulls in the back, and you just hear bloop.
As they leave, I'm just gonna pull out the crystal and look at it and play around with it.
Are you going to spend the time attuning to it?
I assume I wouldn't have the time to actually attune to it, but
No.
I mean, yeah,
You
I mean,
don't
I'm
know.
gonna invest. I'm gonna
Poking at it that way?
investigate it. I'm gonna investigate it to as much detail as I can, because this thing is unique.
While cranking the bucket down.
He brought
And
the
I-
bucket down. The bucket's down.
Uh,
We'll see how long they're gone before you pick up. I mean, you hear the rushing water. You may not hear anything that goes on up here. So we'll see. That will all happen next week.
Very cool.
Oh, that's gross. Now we have a week to figure out how we're gonna what, how, what, just how, what. Oh,
That was fun. I like to
hope you saved some spells.
yeah, right.
Did you reload your crossbows?
Not yet.
No, but I have my. Yeah, I mean, I have my short bow yet too.
That's true.
I did not pick up the 2 javelins, so I'm down 2 javelins.
All right, everybody. Thank you for
All right.
joining us today. 2 Nerds, 1 Quest. We are live every Sunday morning, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. This was a good one.
And guys, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do an Easter show. So
Oh yeah, Easter's next week.
Yeah, that
Well,
was
we will
something
be
we were going
taking
to
a
talk
week off for
about.
that. That is an actual holiday that will fall on our.
Yep.
Every time will fall on our days.
sorry guys. So that's
Oh,
Oh,
no.
that's cool.
Nope, I was going to bring that up post show. But yeah, this is a good spot to bring it up. People, enjoy your Easter next weekend. Those of you that celebrate Easter.
Be good. Jesus is watching.
And the Easter Bunny.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh man, that would have been. I'm biting my tongue.
Good show
I
title.
could have said something almost sacrilegious. This is a cave after all.
Fair enough.
I'll
Fair.
just leave it at that. I won't go any further with it.
Fair enough. And with that, you can follow us all on Twitter. I am at Tom M. Norman. JC is at Wildfire1265. Genius is at LazyDragonGB. And Crixus Cooch is at Crazy Cooch. We are at 2 Nerds, 1 Quest. Number 2 Nerds, number 1 Quest. If you want to support us, the best thing you can do is share this with other people. Tell everybody else about it. Tweet about it. Retweet our tweets that we're retweeting by our tweeting tweets. Do that. Yeah, tell other people about it. If you were enjoying it, let us know. Tweet at us. Apparently, I want to say tweet today a lot. If you want to support us otherwise, you can go to patreon.com/2nerds1quest, patreon.com/2nerds1quest. And we have some really fun tiers. JC he should be doing
Tears of the players.
Tiers of the players. Interesting.
Some real fun tears. Yeah.
We have what was it? You made me lose my train of thought. Oh, JC is doing monthly
Which
encounters.
I need to do. And honestly, I freaking missed a moment where I could have done the the February vote, and I need to put the March one out there. I know what it's going to be. I just got to put it up. So I will put that up today.
Excellent. And Scoot and Jack McHugh, I know you are listening. I need to make you your plates. If you look at our banner here, the 2 Nerds 1 Quest, and then the plates that we have next to our names, I need to make you something like that. So you need to tell me what exactly it is that you need. And with that, for me, for JC, for Cooch, and for the Lazy Dragon, we have been and still will be 2 Nerds 1 Quest. Peace.
Boom town, you know.
Drip. Drip. Drip.